Hello. Well, it's time to plant the first seeds of the season. I'm going to be planting chilies and aubergines. Both of these are plants that need to be started as early as possible in a climate like we have in Britain, so they've got the longest possible growing season. They also need germination conditions that are both warm and well lit, which can cause some problems. Here in the greenhouse I've got light all around, all day, from all sides. Plenty of light but not much heat. A heated propagator is a possibility, but you've got to run it for 6 weeks or more, so that's quite an expensive option. The other option is to have it in the house where I've got plenty of warmth. I can put them by the stove, which stays warm all night, and that will be a lovely ambient temperature for them, about 20 degrees on average, but not enough light. I've got a south facing window, but it's slightly shaded by the neighbours. So what I do is I use propagation lights. It's cheaper to run a propagation light in an indoor heated space than it is to run a heater, even a small one, in an outdoor well lit space, if that makes any sense. So this is the way I do it. Anyway, I'm just potting things up now. Going to the seeds, I've had problems in recent years, as I believe a few other people have as well, with the quality of chilies. They're an easy strain, they're an easy type of plant to lose the strain. I don't know quite who started it, but I've had 2 years running now worth of chilies. One was bought plants, the other one was bought seeds from a reputable supplier, with no heat in them at all. So this year I've gone to a specialist chili supplier. These guys, I'm not plugging them, but they just propagate and sell chilies, so I think I trust them. And I've got a variety here called Ring of Fire, which is 70 to 80,000 on the scale, so it's a good one. Also said it's a good drying chili. I dry my chilies, I dry them on the plants and use them in the kitchen either as dried chilies, or I grind them up in batches to make the most pungent, nicest tasting cayenne pepper you ever tasted. So my chilies are very important to me. Hopefully this year I've got it right. Aubergines, again, I've gone from an organic supplier. Not that I've had problems with aubergine growing, but again, I want to have the best possible start and the best possible seed. Now I'm going to be starting these off using my homemade compost. I use a mixture of sieved garden compost from my compost bin and garden soil. I find it works well as an all-round mixture. It certainly is as good as any commercially available compost. I've done side-by-side tests with it, mine and bought stuff, and mine is as good as, if not better than, when you look at the end result. So I use this for everything now. It's a batch I made up earlier. I tend to make it up fresh each time. I'm not convinced it keeps very well, but made up fresh, it's brilliant. I'm using trays with quite big module sizes. That's just a personal preference. I'll be sowing 1 seed per module. I find that using the larger ones just saves me one potting up episode, and also if I do ever forget to water them, it gives them a fighting chance, because little ones can dry up very fast. I've just filled the modules up very loose. Just don't squash the soil, but just firm it up, make sure it's okay, and then you push in like that, just top them up a bit. The soil will settle anyway once you've watered it. Take your seeds, just pop them in. You can either put 2 per module, and remove the weaker one of the 2, or 1. I've actually got plenty of seed here, so I'm going to pop 2 in. So. And the same with the chilies. a smaller number of seeds here, so I'm just going to plant one per cell. If anyone wonders why I'm not also planting tomatoes, I'll be doing those in about 2 to 3 weeks' time in exactly the same fashion. The tomatoes don't quite need the early start that chilies do. If you try and plant them out before they're ready for it, i.e. you've got a load of plants ready to go, you can end up rather shocking the plants with the cold. So I don't stick my tomatoes in until March, but they'll be propagated on the windowsill in exactly the same way. In fact, right next to these. So that's chilies at the back, aubergines at the front, and give them a drop of water. Take these inside now. There's another job to do just before I go in. I've got some compost left over. So we all buy these from the supermarket, a couple of thyme plants. My thyme plant died in the middle of the winter, my outdoor one. So I bought these, I've been feeding off them. But if I pot them up now, with the weather starting to warm up a little bit, they'll really flourish in the greenhouse here, and I won't have to buy any more thyme plants. So I can just pop these in a bigger pot. Perfect. It's a 2-minute job, but it's worth doing. I've also got a parsley plant here that I kept going through the winter that had similar origins. I'll do the same with this one. And we're now indoors. This is where the aubergines and the chilies will be for the next few weeks, actually next month or so. It's the sunniest spot I've got. It's a south-facing window. It does have a little bit of shade from the neighbour, so it's not perfect, but it's free light. Most importantly, it's right by the kitchen range here, which keeps warm on a 24-hour basis. So it's pretty much an ambient 19 to 20 degrees centigrade here, which is perfect for starting these off. So light is the quantity that's in some shortage. Now, the site's called Agriculture for a reason. I'm always trying to find alternative ways of doing things that don't involve buying commercial products. But for light, unfortunately, I've found to my cost there's no substitute. So what I've got is a commercial growing light. For those that are into maths, it's 1500 lumens, which is a very bright light. It's a good one. I like it. It's adjustable. And they'll be under this for 12 hours a day minimum. Until they're ready to go into the greenhouse. There's simply no other way of doing it. If you don't provide a decent quantity of light, you'll end up with very stretched seedlings and weak plants as a result. But hopefully this is the setup that most of you will be able to reproduce. They're not expensive, these lights. It's just, like I said, you've got to have a specialist growing one. To keep them nice and toasty warm, even during the night time, because a little bit of cold comes from the window there, I have this lid on. If the sun's on it, it's coming in and out this afternoon, I put a little bit of bamboo under there, just so the air can circulate around, because they could roast in there. And I take it out at night and let it down, and that is a perfect environment for chilies and aubergines.